The screen is black. An unearthly shriek echoes, cut short by the sound of something heavy crashing to the floor. Did you get that? Tell me you got that. Camera 3 is down. It got thrown. It's right behind you. Move. Hypercut montage flash of a wheelchair rolling on its own down a dark hallway at K2 meters, lights screaming from green to red. A thermal camera view showing a cold, human-shaped mass against a warm wall. My own face, pale and wide-eyed in the green glow of a night vision camera. A door slamming shut with violent force in an empty corridor. A single guttural word hissed from a spirit box. Asterisk, get out. Asterisk, you think you know what fear is. I thought I did. But after spending 48 hours locked inside the abandoned Blackwood Sanatorium, you learn that you don't know a thing. We went in with the best paranormal team in the country and $1 million worth of equipment to see what happens when you stay past closing time. We thought we were looking for evidence, but what we found was a story of true suffering, and it took a piece of all of us when we left. So, to understand what you just saw, we have to rewind to the very beginning. 48 hours earlier, we're pulling up to the gates of Blackwood Sanatorium, and the air is just thick with the smell of rain and rot. From the outside, the building looks like some kind of monster sleeping on the hill, a place the world desperately tried to forget. For almost 100 years, this was where people ended up when there was nowhere else to go. It was a dumping ground for the mentally and physically unwell, the inconvenient, the people society just wanted to erase. But we're here because of one specific story, a dark local legend that blurs the line between history and horror. We're here because of Dr. Alistair Finch. As the legend goes, Dr. Finch was a brilliant but twisted physician who took over Blackwood in the 1950s. He believed the only way to cure a broken mind was through extreme physical and psychological torment. His patients were his prisoners. The story ends in 1972 with a huge, unexplained fire that ripped through the asylum's most infamous ward. Dozens of people, patients and staff, including Dr. Finch himself, supposedly died. Their bodies were never found. Now, I want to be totally transparent here. There are no official records that prove Blackwood Sanatorium or a Dr. Alistair Finch ever existed. Their names aren't in any state archives, but the stories just won't die. They're told around campfires and whispered about in the nearby towns. So the real question for us is, how does a legend like that even start? Are these just ghost stories, or are they echoes of a real, undocumented tragedy that left a permanent scar on this land? That's what we're here to find out, and to do that, I'm not going in by myself. I'm with the Paranormal Research Collective, or PRC. These guys approach the supernatural with a serious amount of skepticism and a whole lot of science. First, there's Liam, the founder and lead investigator. He's been doing this for 2 decades, and he's the guy who'd rather find a draft from a broken window than believe in a ghost. His first goal is always to debunk. Then you've got Chloe, our tech guru. She runs what we call the Nerve Center base camp, and she's watching dozens of cameras, audio recorders, and environmental sensors. She's all about the data, looking for anomalies that logic just can't explain. And finally, there's Marcus, the team's historical researcher and sensitive. He's the one who feels things: a sudden drop in temperature, a shift in the atmosphere, emotional residue. It's his job to see if what he's feeling lines up with the history and the legends of the location. The 4 of us are about to lock ourselves inside this place for 2 straight days and nights. We've got full-spectrum cameras, thermal gear, REM pods that detect motion, laser grids, and of course, the spirit box to try and communicate. We thought we were ready for anything. We were wrong. Our goal isn't just to see a ghost. It's to document, to understand, and to find out if the legend of Blackwood is just a story, or if it's something terrifyingly real. The investigation, the first 24 hours, the second you step inside, it hits you. The air is heavy, freezing, and it smells like dust, mold, and something else. Something old and medicinal. Every wall is peeling. Every surface is covered in a thick layer of grime. But it's the silence that really gets to you. It's so deep and heavy it feels like it's swallowing every sound we make. First things first. We set up our base camp in the main lobby. Chloe immediately gets to work, creating this spiderweb of laptops and monitors. This is our lifeline. From here, she sees everything from every static camera we place in the building. Liam and Marcus start what's called a baseline sweep. This is something every legit team does, and it's super important. Liam goes room to room with an EMF meter, checking for any natural electromagnetic fields from old wiring or power lines. We need to rule that stuff out so we don't mistake it. For a ghost later, the readings are basically flat. The building is electrically dead. Marcus follows with a thermal camera, checking for drafts, random cold spots, or any animals that might have moved in. So far, everything looks normal. With base camp up and running, we head out for our first proper walkthrough. We start in the patient wards on the second floor. It's just long, dark hallways with dozens of tiny, empty rooms. We see rusted, overturned bed frames. In one room, there's a single child's shoe sitting right in the middle of the floor. It feels totally staged, like something out of a bad horror movie, but Marcus tells us it's been there for years. It's what's known as a trigger object, left by other investigators to try and get a reaction. As we go deeper, that feeling of being watched just gets stronger and stronger. I keep telling myself it's just my brain playing tricks on me, that it's a natural response to being in a place like this. And then it happens. We walk into what the old floor plans call the hydrotherapy room, a big tiled chamber with a rotting porcelain tub in the middle, and Liam's EMF meter just goes crazy. Whoa, right here, you see that? We were flatlining this whole time. Now, it's spiking to a 4, a 5. Chloe, you're seeing this on the environmental sensors? Affirmative, her voice crackles over the walkie-talkie. There's a corresponding temperature drop in your location. It's gone down 6 degrees in the last 10 seconds. We just stand there, frozen. The air around us is so cold I can see my own breath. There are no drafts, no windows open, just a sudden pocket of intense cold. And then, just as quickly as it started, it's gone. The EMF meter goes back to normal. The temperature is stable again. It's our first piece of data that we just can't explain. It's subtle, but it's a start. We decide to do our first EVP session right there in that room. EVP stands for electronic voice phenomena, basically. Voices that get captured on recorders that you didn't hear with your own ears. Liam sets up a recorder on a tripod. Okay, we're now conducting an EVP session in the hydrotherapy room. It's me, Marcus, and our host. The time is for 15 p.m. If there is anyone here with us, can you tell us your name? Nothing, just the low hum of the recorder. We saw the lights on our meter a moment ago. Was that you trying to get our attention? We mean you no harm. We just want to hear your story. We sit in total silence for another 10 minutes, just asking questions into the empty air. It almost feels like meditating. When we're done, Liam plays the recording back. We lean in, listening to the static. At first, nothing. But then, right after Liam's second question, we hear it. A faint sound. He isolates the audio, cleans it up, and plays it again. It's a whisper. A soft, airy voice. It's tough to make out, but it sounds like it's saying, cold. Look. It could be anything. It could be audio pareidolia, where your brain just finds patterns in random noise. But it happened right after we all felt that temperature drop, and that sends a shiver right down my spine. As evening sets in, the whole asylum changes. The shadows get longer and start to look like they're moving. Every creak from the old building, settling sounds like a footstep. We are officially locked in for the night. The main doors are chained shut. Our link to the outside world is gone. The emotional toll of just being here is starting to wear on us. It's a constant low-level anxiety that just drains you. You start questioning every sound, every shadow. Your mind starts playing tricks on you. Is that a person standing at the end of the hall, or is my brain just filling in the gaps? For the first half of the night, we decide to focus on the third floor. According to the legend, this was Dr. Finch's ward. This is where they kept the most severe cases. The rooms up here have these heavy reinforced doors with small barred windows. The inside of the doors are covered in scratch marks, a silent, horrifying testament to the suffering that happened in here. Chloe has a laser grid set up in the main hallway. It's a projector that casts thousands of tiny green dots across the space. If anything moves, it'll break the beams, and we'll see it. For an hour we just sit in the dark, whispering and watching the grid. Nothing happens. Then, Marcus just points. Did you see that, by the far wall? I squint into the darkness. I saw nothing. Liam grabs his tablet to check the live feed. He rewinds it a few seconds, and then we all see it. On the far side of the hall, for just a split second, a chunk of the laser grid is completely blacked out. It looks like someone, or something, walked right through it. A dark, human-shaped hole in the light that's there, and then gone in less than a second. We watch the footage over and over. It's not a glitch. It's not a bug. It's a clear disturbance. In the grid, riding this wave of activity, Liam decides it's time for the spirit box. This is a device that scans through radio frequencies really fast, creating a spray of white noise and audio snippets. The theory is that a spirit can manipulate that raw sound to form words. It's controversial. A lot of people think it's just your brain making sense of random noise. Again, Liam turns it on. The room fills with this chaotic, static-filled chatter. Is there anyone in this room with us? We just saw you walk through the laser grid. Can you use this device to tell us your name? The box sputters. Asterisk. Station. Weather. Music. Then, a crystal clear voice cuts through. Finch. We all just freeze. Did it just say Finch? I whisper. Let's not jump to conclusions, Liam says. Could be a coincidence. Let's ask a control question. Is the sky blue? The box just keeps scanning. Asterisk. Drive. Traffic. Sports. Nothing. Let me rephrase, Liam says. Is the man they call Dr. Finch here with us? The response is instant, and it's terrifying. A different voice this time. Much harsher. A single word. Liar. It just hangs there in the air. Who's the liar? Dr. Finch. The legend. Us. Before we can even process it, we hear a sound from down the hall. A loud metallic scraped off. We grab our flashlights and run out of the room. Our beams cut through the darkness. About 50 feet away, a metal wheelchair that was sitting against the wall is now right in the middle of the hallway. It's still rocking, just barely, like it just stopped moving. We check for drafts, an uneven floor, anything that could possibly explain it. There's nothing. Our first 24 hours are up, and it feels like the asylum is just waking up. We came here to investigate a legend, but we're starting to realize that whatever's here has its own story to tell, and it is not happy that we're here to listen. The climax, the second night. You'd think daylight would bring some relief, but not in Blackwood. The sun shines through the filthy windows, lighting up the dust in the air and showing you just how decayed everything is, but it does nothing to lift that oppressive feeling. The second day starts with all of us feeling completely exhausted. None of us really slept. That constant low-level fear from the night before has left us drained, irritable, and emotionally raw. And that's the part of these investigations nobody really talks about, the psychological beatdown. It's not about the jump scares. It's a slow burn of mental and emotional exhaustion. We meet up at base camp, drinking coffee that's gone cold, and we start reviewing the footage from last night. Seeing the evidence in the bright light of day is somehow even more disturbing. The shadow in the laser grid, the wheelchair moving by itself. It's all there, in high definition. It wasn't just our tired minds playing tricks on us. We have documented unexplainable events. So the question is, can we get more? Can we get something that leaves no room for doubt? For our final night, the team decides on a new plan. So far, we've just been watching. Tonight we provoke. We're going to focus on two spots: Dr. Finch's supposed office, which we haven't touched yet, and the basement, where the morgue is. The plan is to push, to challenge whatever is here and see if we can force a direct response. It feels like an absolutely terrible idea, and this knot of anxiety in my stomach just gets tighter as night falls for the last time. The atmosphere feels completely different. It's charged, almost electric. It's like the building itself knows what we're about to do. We head down to the basement. With every step we take, the air gets colder and damper. This is where they kept the asylum's dead on cold metal slabs. The morgue itself is a small, tiled room with one rusted autopsy table right in the center. This is where we're going to do the Estes method. It's a sensory deprivation experiment. The whole point is to get clearer, less biased communication from the spirit box. Marcus volunteers. He sits on a stool in the corner, puts on a blindfold, and wears noise-canceling headphones that are hooked directly into the spirit box. He can't see our reactions, and he can't hear us asking questions. All he can hear is the raw audio from the box. His job is to just say out loud any clear word or phrase he hears, no matter how random it seems. Liam and I will ask the questions. Chloe is watching from base camp. The experiment starts. Okay, Marcus, the spirit box is on. Liam says, we're starting now. My first question is, who are we speaking with? The box screeches in Marcus's ears. For a solid minute, he's completely silent. Then, a number 7. Liam and I just look at each other. It's random, means nothing. I lean in. Why are you here? Are you trapped in this place? A few seconds pass. Fire, Marcus says, very bright. My blood turns to ice. The legend of the 1972 fire. Is he actually picking up on that? Who started the fire? Liam asks. Was it an accident? Silence. The static just hisses and spits. And then Marcus flinches like a thought just hit him. The doctor, he helped them. This is the exact opposite of the legend. The legend says Dr. Finch was a monster. This makes him sound like a hero. Helped them do what? I ask. Helped who? Marcus is quiet for a long time. He starts. fidgeting in his seat. No, no, it's a lie, he says, his voice strained. He didn't help. He watched. The door was locked. He watched the door. The detail is so specific, so horrible. It paints a picture of Finch not as a victim, but as the one who orchestrated the whole thing. Locking his patients in to burn. Liam leans forward, his voice low and intense. Is Dr. Finch in this room with us right now? Suddenly, Marcus rips the blindfold and headphones off. His face is pale, his eyes are wide with pure, genuine terror. I'm done, I'm out, he says, his voice shaking. Someone was whispering directly in my ear, underneath the static. It wasn't from the box, it said. He's still here. As those words leave his mouth, all hell breaks loose. It starts with a sound from across the basement. A loud, violent bang, like someone kicked a steel door as hard as they could. We spin around, our flashlights cutting through the dark. Then Chloe's voice screams over the walkie-talkie. Multiple alerts, all at once. The REM pod in the operating theater is going off. The motion sensor in the patient ward just triggered, and the EMF levels at base camp are off the charts. Something is moving through the entire building. Back in the morgue, a tray of rusted tools on a nearby table suddenly gets swiped to the floor with a deafening clatter. This isn't a chill or a whisper. This is physical. This is aggressive. Chloe, are the cameras rolling in here? Liam shouts into the walkie. Yes, camera 4 has you. We hear footsteps. Running. On the floor directly above us. Heavy, frantic footsteps. But we're all in the basement. There's no one up there. Then the main thermal camera in the morgue catches it. Liam sees it on his tablet first and just whispers, "Oh my God." He turns the screen to me. The room is a sea of cool blues and greens on the display, but standing right behind the autopsy table is a figure. It's glowing with a deep, unnatural, colder solid, black-blue shape against the warmer background. It is perfectly man-shaped, tall and thin, and it's moving. It slowly turns its head, as if it's looking right at the camera. We're all just frozen, staring at the screen, then at the empty space where the screen says this thing is standing. There's nothing there to the naked eye, but the thermal camera shows it clear as day. It is the most definitive, absolutely terrifying piece of evidence I have ever seen. And while we're paralyzed, staring at this thing, the heavy metal morgue door, which we had propped open, slams shut with a boom so loud it shakes the walls. That's the moment the fear finally broke us. It turned into that primal animal instinct to just get out. We scramble for the door, fumbling with the rusted handle. It's stuck. For 10 solid seconds that felt like an eternity. We're trapped in the morgue with whatever that thing was on the camera. Liam finally just throws his shoulder into the door, and it bursts open. We don't stop running until we're back in base camp. And just like that, all the activity across the building stops. The alerts go silent. The EMF levels drop to 0. The asylum is quiet again. We huddle together, shaking, out of breath, just trying to process what happened. We came looking for evidence. We found it. But in doing so, we provoked something incredibly powerful and intelligent. And now, in the chilling silence of Blackwood Sanatorium, we're left with the terrifying knowledge that we are not alone. Our last few hours here will just be us waiting for the sun, knowing the asylum has finally shown us its true face. The aftermath and analysis the next morning doesn't bring a feeling of victory, just a heavy, exhausted relief. The sun cuts through the dark, but that chill from the night before is still deep in our bones. Packing up is quiet, almost robotic. Nobody's really talking. We're walking through the same hallways that felt so threatening hours ago, and now they just seem harmless in the daylight, like a predator that's gone back to sleep. But we know what we saw, we know what we felt. Before we leave, we all gather at base camp one last time to debrief. The exhaustion is written all over everyone's faces. It's more than just being tired. It's a deep, psychological exhaustion. I don't even know where to start, I say to the team. Marcus, you first. The Estes method. What was that like on your end? He's rubbing his temples. I've done that experiment a dozen times. It's never been like that. The words were so clear, so direct, but the whisper, that was different. That felt personal. It felt like someone leaned in and spoke right into my soul. I've never been that scared in my life. The activity was directly tied to that session. Liam adds, it's a classic provocation and response. We pushed, and something pushed back hard. The slamming door, the tray getting thrown. That's poltergeist level stuff. It takes a huge amount of energy for something to physically mess with our environment like that. We weren't dealing with a faint memory. We were dealing with something intelligent. Chloe just points to her main monitor. And then there's this. She plays the thermal footage again. We watch the cold, human-shaped mass appear behind the autopsy table. We watch it turn its head. It's even more chilling now. Without the panic of the moment, you just can't deny it. We've analyzed this from every angle, she says. It's not a reflection, not a glitch. The camera was working perfectly. The temperature difference was almost 15 degrees from the air around it. There is no conventional, scientific way to explain this image. Leaving Blackwood is a strange feeling. Stepping back out into the fresh air is like breaking the surface after being held underwater for too long. The world outside seems ridiculously normal and alive. It's hard to reconcile this peaceful, sunny day with the absolute darkness we just spent 48 hours in. Weeks later, back at the PRC lab, the team is still analyzing everything. Every hour of audio, every minute of video, is reviewed over and over. They try to debunk everything. Could the slamming door have been a sudden change in air pressure? They run the numbers. The physics just don't work. Could the footsteps have been an animal? The sound signature doesn't match. Every single significant piece of evidence holds up. We're left with a collection of events that science just can't explain away. We have what investigators call hard evidence: the thermal figure, the intelligent spirit box responses, the violent physical events. But honestly, it's the personal experience that sticks with you. This investigation changed me. I used to be a comfortable skeptic, but this experience replaced that with a profound sense of humility about what we actually know about the world. It's one thing to hear a ghost story. It's something else entirely to have a door slam shut in your face, in a place that's supposed to be empty, or to see a figure on a thermal camera that isn't really there. It forces you to question everything. The experience also showed me how real the psychological toll of this work is. The fear, the anxiety, the emotional drain. It's not just for the cameras, it's a real occupational hazard. We went to Blackwood to investigate a legend about a cruel doctor and a fire. We didn't find any historical proof that the legend is true, but what we experienced tells us that something is deeply, deeply wrong with that place. Maybe it's the spirit of a fictional doctor, brought to life by decades of people telling his story. Or maybe it's the residual energy of countless real, forgotten people who suffered inside those walls. We can't say for sure. Perhaps the legend isn't a story of what really happened, but just an attempt to give a name to the faceless, terrifying thing that lives there. So in the end, we're left with far more questions than answers. 48 hours in a haunted asylum showed me that there are things in this world that you just can't explain with logic. We captured footage and sounds that have no rationale. Explanation. We encountered an intelligence that was aware of us, and it felt angry. Blackwood Sanatorium is a place of incredible sadness and powerful, lingering energy. It's a place where the past simply refuses to stay buried. Our journey into its heart was terrifying, exhausting, and it changed me. It taught me that fear is more than just an emotion. It's like a doorway. It opens you up to possibilities you'd normally just dismiss. And sometimes, when you open that door, something looks back. And now, I have to ask you, you've seen the evidence we collected: the thermal figure, the wheelchair, the voices. What do you think? Did we actually capture a glimpse of something supernatural, or is there another explanation for everything we went through? I genuinely want to know what you think, so please let me know in the comments below. I'll be reading through all of them. This was one of the most intense experiences of my life, but it's not going to be the last. If you want to follow our journey into the world's most haunted places and see more investigations just like this one, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what we do next. Next time, we're heading to a private home where the shadows have a history of fighting back, and a family is being tormented by something they swear followed them home from a place just like Blackwood. Thank you for watching. Stay safe out there.